Oh, good red Thursday, Kansas City. Oh, I am so excited about this. Though we do have some overcast guys out there at the cloud deck. It's at the, it's like mid-levels. We've got some strato clouds out there right now, forming in from a front that we're monitoring. We have a big chance for some shower and storm activity on the way. I know. This is a big deal when it comes down to Arrowhead and the game against the Denver Broncos. And I don't know if you could tell, but some of those trees there, right there, the foreground, kind of sort of looks like it's wafted in the wind a bit. Yeah, we've got some gusty winds out there for us today. So I want you to be prepped for it. So, hey, good morning. It's almost good afternoon, but it's still good morning. It's 10:40 in the morning right now. Listen, I do have some good news for you. I really do when it comes down to the weather, and I'm sure you've been checking us out on KCTV5, and the First Warn 5 weather team has been getting your back on this severe thunderstorm threat. It's gotten better for us in the sense of less aggressive thunderstorms. That's what I'm really excited to talk to you guys about. So I'm really just going to start pulling you on over to the graphics because we're going to go right on into the severe weather risk map, and this is much different than where it was when we were talking about this yesterday morning on KCTV5 News, right? So there it is, our Thursday night into Friday morning, and we've got that marginal risk for severe storm activity. It's still involved with the area. We're still dealing with that, but notice the yellow zone. That's our slight risk for severe storms, and that's the level 2 kind of level that we have here. And that has changed dramatically, right? We were talking about this all along the western counties that we have in Kansas, around portions of Jefferson, around Douglas County, all the way down to Anderson, even Lynn County out there. And now it's much more concentrated in a smaller location. We're talking a fringe of Atchison County there on the Kansas side, but entireties of Atchison County on the Missouri side, Doniphan, Holt County, portions of Nodway County, and that's where, of course, Maryville is along I-29. We have lifted the low pressure system away from the area just a little bit more. And that's the good news. I'm going to bring you into the satellite radar and show you where that low pressure system is right now. It's popping up for you. It's huge, mind you. I mean, this thing is absolutely massive, and I want to show you how great this system is. It goes all the way back to Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, and that's the backside of the low that brings in snowfall to the higher elevations. So this has got severe weather in the front, and it's got snowfall on the back. Now, listen, we're not going to be getting into snowfall, all right? That's not happening for us. But it gives us the sign of we are getting into some colder conditions once we see the backside of that low pressure system, which remains to the north of us. That's the whole situation here. This low pressure system has moved in a little bit more of a direction towards the north. Instead of being concentrated closer to around Omaha, that's where we were expecting it to be around this time frame. It has actually shifted more to the north and a bit more to the west, which is where we've got the center of rotation right now. That's good news for us. This means that we're going to pull most of our potential energy in the atmosphere to create severe weather a little bit further to the north and concentrate it in Nebraska rather than really trying to concentrate it closer to our neck of the woods. Now, obviously, we showed you we are still not out of the woods of any kind of a severe weather threat, right? So let's move back in to that marginal risk and show you that one more time. We still have the threat out there. It's still something that we're monitoring, but it looks better and better for us. I want to show you the severe weather impacts because those have changed for us too in a better way. And that'll be the next thing that I pop up here on our screen. You can see our storm impacts. Now, if you were with us yesterday morning, the damaging wind and the hail development were really starting to skew towards the moderately high side. And we actually were trying to get closer to the moderate level here for even a rotational kind of situation to the atmosphere. And that was going to be more concentrated to our northern counties, but nonetheless, everything was skewed a bit more on the aggressive side. Well, now with this new information, a new location to the low pressure system now, we are now starting to push everything back down on the lower scale. So it's still not zero, but it's in a better situation for us than where we were yesterday. So here we go. Let's get into the timing. I'm going to bring in one of our future forecast model runs here. This is the high resolution model run that we like to use normally for a 24-hour period, and it really goes into the detail of the inclement weather. I would just run the system, but I'm going to use it on the mouse here so we can slow it down nicely, right? So as we go through the day, it's already gray outside. You can see the cloud cover there and that lighter whitish kind of hue around the metro. And even those little blips of green, that could be either just heavy moisture to those clouds, or it could be a little bit of precipitation, could be a little bit of drizzle activity involved in maybe Donovan County. Well, we're looking to keep that, at bay for the metro. But you'll notice as we move on into the late evening here, there's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and now we get to about 9, 10 o'clock at night. You can see how we concentrate that storm activity, the aggressive coloration, right? So we're talking those oranges, reds, and magentas. That's your storm activity. That's heavy rain. That could be lightning. That could be high cloud tops. That could be the stuff that's creating hail the size of a quarter or a $50. All right, but notice how it's concentrated in that zone that we have that slight risk for, right? The yellow zone is what we're looking at, and that's off around Atchison County, stretching all the way up towards Nodway County. Now, notice as we move in that all of a sudden, by 10:30 at night, everything shifts way north, way quickly to the north, and it wants to be gobbed up by that low pressure system and what we call the triple point. It's where the cold front, the warm front, and the low pressure system, they all meet together, okay? So all of that energy wants to push forward more towards the north into portions of Nebraska and into central Iowa, and that's where we have much better odds of maybe seeing some rotation, maybe seeing larger size hail out there, or that damaging wind of 60, 70, even 80 miles per hour, right? But we still have a threat here, friends. We still do. At least when it comes down to the game, we're already at 10 p.m. We still really haven't contacted wet weather yet. Let's move forward to midnight. We finally start to see an opportunity for some showers. This is the beginning of the cold front for us. And then as we make it into 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, we start to build that wet weather in the storms to the south. And then finally, we make it to about the morning that you're waking up. You're going to wake up the kids. You're going to have breakfast. You're going to head out the door. Now we're getting into some heavier rainfall, maybe even some stronger storm cells out there for us. This is where we could see another quick opportunity for some brief severe weather. Could be 50, 60 mile an hour winds in some of these very isolated thunderstorms, mind you, not a widespread threat, but a very isolated threat. And then it continues through the mid-morning like this. But we still have threats for isolated showers and maybe a weak thunderstorm. Even on the backside of this storm system, the low pressure system comes through, and we could still see a little bit of rainfall. So we're going to keep about a 30% chance for rain all day on Friday, just as a precaution. It's still worthwhile to grab the umbrellas here. But, when it comes down to the big threat for storm activity for the game and getting out there and getting, a heavy downpour, it's looking better odds that you may not have to concern yourself with that at this time. And I need to ostracize that because the atmosphere changes second by second, minute by minute. All right. So when we get that information in, and we usually get this every couple of hours, we get big updates from the atmosphere. We will adjust accordingly. And when we know, you will know. That's what First Warn 5 weather is all about. But so far, it's looking better for us in that kind of a situation. I'm going to go through the numbers for the actual game, and then we'll talk about wind, because that's the next big thing that we need to discuss. So let's go ahead and first talk about what we can expect for the actual Broncos and the Chiefs game. 7:15 is game time. I've got it starting at 6 p.m., but we all know you're probably starting to head out there anyways. Let's be real. We should see anywhere from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, which is what we're dealing with right now. The temperature should be warm for us. We're looking to get that strong southerly flow in, so the temperature's in the mid and upper 70s, and will slowly taper off as we get closer and closer to the front and heavy downpours, right? So once we get to 9 or 10 p.m., you notice that I have some icons here. A little bit of thunderstorm activity, right? This is just a precaution because the front is not expecting to hit us around this time frame. Remember, it's going to be well off to the north and east, maybe around, Donovan County and Holt County and Nodway County that we see some storms. But we have seen in the past that some of this moisture gets picked up well ahead of the front, and we have a couple of thunderstorms pop up just before the big line comes through. All right, so that's what we're taking into consideration for the game. This is a precautionary thing that I want you to have in the back of your head. That can happen. We've got the right ingredients. We just needed to go up to the atmosphere and start mixing. All right, so that's what we're going to be watching out for, even for the end of the game, and that'll be closer around fourth quarter, right? All right, now what's already out there and what a big deal is that wind. I love showing this. It's one of my favorite graphics. It's one of my favorite graphics. The trash can tracker. I love this thing because it goes from a level 1, which is you don't have to worry about much, all the way up to a level 4 where you basically lose your trash can for forever. I've got this trash can tracker at a level 3, which means that your trash can might be down the street. Meaning if you didn't have any trash and it's an empty trash can, they drop it down. It's right there on the edge of your driveway. It might get picked up by the wind and tumble down the road, maybe down the block, all right? That's how gusty our winds are going to be. So exactly how gusty are we talking about with that? Well, we're going to get into it. I'm going to find that gust conditioned graphic for you, show you what we're getting into. And you can see it's pretty gusty. I mean, really, we don't get below 25 mile per hour gusts almost throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. So we're looking at easily today alone gusts at 35 to 40 miles per hour, and that includes going into the metro and even around Arrowhead. So the wind is a thing, folks. So if you're going to be out there, you're going to be tailgating, you're going to be rocking and rolling and flipping burgers, and you've got those small grills, get the sandbags, okay? Weigh them down. It's going to be well worth your while to do so. But listen, I'm just happy to give you some good news. First Warn 5 weather is always about transparency. And when we get that new information, we want to let you guys know about it and tell you why we've got new updates or why things have changed immediately, right? So this is in a way where First Warn 5 came in with us and said, hey, I don't have bad news for you. I have good news. It's changed in a better way for us, right? We still have to be alert. We still have to be wary of these storms, all right? I still got my eagle eye on this for you guys, but we do have a better situation compared to where we were yesterday in our forecast model runs. All right, I'm going to give you one more live look here. Arrowhead. Man, oh man, I love football season. You can already see the tents up. We've got the breeze still swaying out there. It's pretty exciting stuff. We've got so much exciting stuff, including, T Swift is going to be in the house. I'm freaking out, Janae.
You and everyone else. This is the talk on social media right now, Greg. Everyone is talking about this, including the Mayor Quentin Lucas. We will turn to him here in a bit. But right now, I do want to give you all a breakdown of what you can expect today as the love story continues. Take a look at this video. Like Greg said, we are hearing that Taylor Swift, she might be making her way back to Kansas City today. Now, TMZ reported that the pop star will be at the Chiefs-Broncos game tonight at Arrowhead to cheer on the Chiefs, of course, and Travis Kelce. Now, like I mentioned, I do want to take a look at the social media platform X. You can see that now here on your screen, as well as that tweet coming in from Mayor Quentin Lucas. He says here, welcome back to Kansas City today, Taylor Swift, at a time when there are many serious things to discuss. Having a little levity isn't bad. She brings it. There's no problem with getting swept away. Again, that is the latest tweet coming in from Mayor Quentin Lucas of Kansas City as he responds to the news that Taylor Swift will be making her way back to Kansas City. And we want to hear from you all here in our KCTV5 newsroom. So what you can do is head to our website, or head to our Facebook page, I should say, KCTV5 News Kansas City. And I'm going to take a look at that right now. You can see we are asking you all a question right at the bottom of the screen. If we get rid of this lower third, you can see Taylor Swift on the big screen. Calling all of the Swifties, are you more excited to see 3 TV shots of Taylor Swift during the Chiefs game tonight, or 3 hours of her Eras Tour movie in theaters tomorrow? So definitely, we're already getting a lot of comments on this post, but we also want to hear from you. So if you have not commented just yet, be sure to go and engage with other fans and viewers, and we want to hear what you have to say. But if Taylor Swift attends tonight, just to give you further breakdown on that, this will be the 3rd game that she has been to so far this season, and the Chiefs have yet to lose a game that she has attended. Now, as far as Kelce, the tight end, is questionable for tonight's game with an ankle injury. injury, but is trending toward being available to play against the Broncos starting tonight at Arrowhead. But for everything that you need to know for the game tonight, I do want to give you a breakdown for that. You can find that information on our website. But just to give you further breakdown, kickoff is set for 7:15 at Arrowhead. And the late Chiefs legend Derek Thomas, also known as DT, he will get honored at tonight's game by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Thomas is getting his Hall of Fame ring of excellence. So something to be excited about and something to look forward to. So we want to make sure that you are in your seat very early. The ceremony is happening during pregame, and you can also catch more of our Thomas and Chiefs coverage right here on KCTV5 on the Road to Repeat special that is expected to kick off at 6 tonight. So a lot to look forward to. Again, you are taking a look at Derek Thomas as he is expected to be honored by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And like I said, you want to make sure that you are in your seats very early so you can catch that moment. And we do have a special coverage coming up about that as well. Switching gears, I do want to take a look at some news, some tougher headlines that we have been following here in our KCTV5 newsroom. This is video from earlier this morning. Kansas City police found one person shot in the shoulder, originally considered non-life-threatening, but was later upgraded to life-threatening. That person was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment, and this happened in the 1800 block of Emmanuel Cleaver Boulevard, and police responded to this at around 3:15 early this morning. But as of right now, there's still no suspect in custody. But of course, we will continue to bring you all the latest developments as they come into the KCTV5 newsroom. I know police thought it was a completely different incident before they arrived on scene, but as you can see here, we do know that one person was shot in the shoulder, and they do have life-threatening injuries. Turning now to another story that we are following closely here in the newsroom, taking a look at this video that you now see here on your screen happening today. The Johnson County, the health department will be at Olathe Northwest today for the tuberculosis testing clinic. This comes as a student tested positive earlier this month, and now hundreds need to still be tested. In total, at least 425 people need to be tested following the exposure that happened at Olathe Northwest High School earlier this month. And the health department director says that the student was infectious as early as last spring, and symptoms of TB can include a cough of longer than 3 weeks, unexplained weight loss, night sweats, chills, fever, and coughing up blood. Anyone who does test positive at this testing clinic will be referred to their healthcare provider to receive a follow-up evaluation to then start the treatment. It cannot be spread by contact with someone's clothing, drinking a glass, eating utensils, handshake, toilet, or other surfaces. But it is also very important to catch an active case of this as early as possible. So definitely, if you have any of those symptoms that include coughing or longer than 3 weeks or chills or fever, you definitely want to make sure you get checked out and you head to Olathe Northwest High School for the latest on that testing clinic today. You'd rather be safe than sorry. So, of course, we will continue to follow this story as well as the other top headlines that we did cover here at the live desk today. But I do want to leave you all with a shot again, taking a look at our Facebook page, just reminding you to go and interact with other viewers and just other Swifties, as we are calling all Swifties, to really just let us know what you were looking forward to as we look ahead to the Chiefs versus Broncos game. Kickoff is set for 7:15 tonight, as well as the new Taylor Swift movie hitting theaters tomorrow night.